Bitcoin, heaven's economy. Here we are, August 19th, 2019. I just went long with about $50,000 in Bitcoin, as you can see right here. I'm really excited about that. Want to talk about why I went long with $50,000 on Bitcoin and look at what is going on with Bakkt. They're cleared to launch the Bitcoin Futures next month. That's part of the reason why. And why an ex-Goldman trader is talking about Bitcoin going to $100,000. But if we jump right into the price action here, it looks like Bitcoin's trading at $10,694. And you might be saying, Chris, why is Bitcoin part of heaven's economy? Well, if we look at October 2015 on Bitcoin's price here, you'll see Bitcoin was way down here at about $250. Today at $10,700. So what does that mean? That means $10,000 invested in Bitcoin in October 2015. Today is worth $428,000. And a lot of people are wondering, well, why did you start this channel, Chris? And it's because if somebody had told me about Bitcoin back then, if I had done a little research, if I had somebody that could just coach me in a professional manager about why to invest in Bitcoin, how to invest in Bitcoin, that's what heaven's economy looks like. And so why did I just go long on Bitcoin? Well, if we jump in, look at the daily chart here, you can see at this stochastic RSI, we are oversold at the bottom here. And that typically is a good entry point. I think every time you're making a short-term trade, you should have a strategy. Mine being here, we're gonna buy low while we're oversold. And when it becomes overbought, sometime here, probably by September, we're going to get out. And we're just going to look at this price action day by day. The daily time frame moves a lot slower than the 4-hourly or the hourly chart. But going back to the 4-hour chart, if we pull out our 4 EMA, we can see we broke above this yellow 20-day right here. We broke above the red 10 simple. And this is another big indicator that we're about to have some big price action. I think you can see we broke above the yellow 20 right there. And we can see here, if you go back, the volume is declining, right? When we have declining volume like this, it really is indicative that the price is about to break out. And if we close above this, this was the yellow 100-day moving average, estimated moving average. But another big indicator I want to look at here is the simple moving average. In the white 200 simple, we broke above this here, and it's indicative of a big price move. If you look at the last time we broke above the white 200 simple, Bitcoin went from 10,648 roughly to 12,300. So that's a good 20% increase. Let's look back. Another time we broke above the white 200 simple was right here. This was in fact, looks like February of 19. February this year we broke above the white 200 simple. Bitcoin has a strong rally. I mean, look, Bitcoin was at $3,600 And today we're at $10,700. So that's another reason why I just went long with the Bitcoin. But let's jump right into what Bakkt is doing. Bakkt says it's cleared to launch Bitcoin Futures next month. The Intercontinental Exchange announced Friday that it acquired a New York State trust charter through New York State Department of Financial Services. The approval clears the way for the company to begin offering its highly anticipated physically settled Bitcoin futures contracts. The company intends to launch its product on September 23rd. So, what does that mean? That means the United States equity markets are going to have a funnel into physical Bitcoin. And to give an idea here, I was just pulling this article from Barron's magazine. It says the huge run-up in stock prices has brought the total market capitalization of the Russell 3000 index, which covers 98.5% of the country's market capitalization, to $30 trillion, a staggering amount of paper money, according to the recent report. So there's 30 trillion US dollars in the US equity markets. And what is it going to look like when that comes into Bitcoin? Bitcoin, if we want to go to the total market cap here, you can see Bitcoin's market cap's at $192 billion. So we got 30 US trillion dollars that's going to have access to this little small market, 192 billion. And what a lot of analysts are saying is, let's say 1 or 2% of the US equity market decides they want to go into Bitcoin, we're going to see a huge run up in price. As a matter of fact, this article from Cointelegraph says Bitcoin going to 100,000 after a steady accumulation phase. So, former Goldman Sachs analyst turned Bitcoin maximalist Murad Mahamdov believes top cryptocurrency will hit 100,000. He says, zoom out, think big. At a first glance, look, this looks like a weak chop for the next week or so, but my intuition tells me there's steady accumulation happening all through here at these levels. And don't try to outsmart yourself for a short time frame. Zoom out, think big. In my view, Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000 per orange coin. And to me, that is just as bullish as we can get. You take a little price dip. Bitcoin has dropped from where it was at about 13,900 up here, and we're at about 10.7 right now. And if you go back again to this daily chart and you look at this stochastic RSI, we're oversold. You buy there. Bitcoin in the short term, I think we're going to hit, we're going to go right into this range here, about 11,200, 11,300. So lastly, I just want to point out, one of my favorite scriptures here, Proverbs 10:22, the blessing of the Lord, it maketh thee rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. And Malachi 3:10 through 12, bring ye all the tithes in the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. So when I read things like that and I think about the windows of heaven opening, boy, I just sure want to be in the right investment. And again, my money's where my mouth is. Um, Went long here with 50,000 today. You can see my wallet, 49,809. Let's see how this goes over the next week. I want you all to have a blessed week, and we'll keep watching the market. Take care.